Hey, this is Deborah Atkinson, the Voice for Fitness, and I'm here just to talk a little bit about why weight loss is so elusive to especially women probably approaching at 50 or over 50. So it may hit you at 60, it may hit you at 65 or 70, it may have hit you at 45, but at some point for a majority of women, the rules to life and exercise and nutrition seemingly have changed. And the challenge is, how do I know, who do I listen to, and how do I pull all of this together? So let's do a little illustration here. Let's say you are right here in the middle, and eventually we're going to get a smile back on that face. And maybe you have one and you're good-natured about it, but you're still a little frustrated with where you're at right now and what you're doing. There are a lot of things that come into play, exercise being one. So we know that that has to be a part of it. But here's the real truth about exercise from a fitness professional. So this one hurts just a little bit. You're really not going to burn all that many calories exercising. Not unless you spend hours and hours running, biking, doing whatever it is that you do. Higher intensity, more calories burned. But most of us don't have the time, and a lot of us don't have the body anymore, the joints that can handle that much repetitive stress. So we know this is important, but it's important for a lot of reasons. And those are somewhat mental, somewhat emotional, focus, concentration. They help, this exercise time helps sleep, and it helps to balance your hormones as long as you're at the optimal level for you. Nutrition. So this one, if I have to draw one bigger, I have to draw this one bigger. If we believe that nutrition has a big impact, I believe it has about 80% of the reason for our success or for our failure. So you've got to get the nutrition thing right. Think about how many times a day you exercise. Most of us would say I have one workout or one time frame when I'm exercising. I might lift weights and walk or run, but that's included in one segment of my day. How many times a day do you eat? A lot of us would say 4 or 5, depending. At least 3 for most people, but a lot of us are trying to eat more frequently, which probably is a good idea. Science is yet to decide, but you personally probably know when you feel the most energy. 3 to 4 times a day, 5 to 6 times a day. It's up to you ultimately, but experimenting is probably worth it. So content, timing, quality, and timing again with your exercise. What else is a factor? We know right now that sleep is a huge factor. Getting the majority of your sleep at night, no napping, 7 to 9 hours is the average. Some of us need more, some of us need less. Some of that depends on your stress level, whether that is physical stress or it's emotional and mental stress. Some of us need more during periods when those stressors are high, so factor that in. So sleep, stress, that connection I've just made for you, but we have to factor it in with how can you dissipate stress levels? We're gonna have stress as long as you've got a heart rate. So how do you get rid of stress? Nature is one way. There's something called the blue zones and the green zones right now. So going green has a lot of meanings right now. One of them is being out in nature, being responsible for reducing heart rate and reducing blood pressure. Being near water. If you are a water person, you enjoy the water, you enjoy being on it, around it, in it. Being close to blue water or the blue zones has a relaxing effect and a chemical effect on your brain and your body. So think about that and whether or not you actually can spend physical time in it or not, or you need to have a screensaver or a poster on your wall that takes you outdoors when you can't physically get there. Think about how you can include other de-stressors in your life as well. So we've got exercise, we've got nutrition, we've got sleep, we've got stress, we've got hormones that are affected by all of these things. So if we're eating off balance in a way that doesn't work for us, it's probably going to affect our hormones somewhat. Too much exercise also can affect our hormones. Too little can as well, or cannot be helping. Sleep is disturbed, hormones are affected. If you have too much stress, it doesn't matter if it's good stress or bad stress, because your body has to respond to all of it at the same time. So be thinking about what are your stressors and the way that you cope with them in order to impact your hormones. So once you've got all of these things factored in, you have the big job of actually measuring and weighing each one of them. How well are you exercising? How much? How well are you feeding and fueling the exercise you're doing? How well are you sleeping to assist recovery from the exercise you're doing or from the stress that you're having? Are you impacting your stress level by the amount of exercise that you're imposing on yourself or suggesting that you have to do? So exercise can be a stressor. That's a negative one if you're trying to make it a have to, got to kind of thing. And then looking at your hormones. And sometimes you actually have to have them tested. Go to your doctor and look at it for help. But all of those things combined are what help you come up with the best exercise program. So if that was helpful and insightful, click right here. You go to my active aging list, and it's targeted at you and pulling all of those things together in a way that we can quarterback so that we can measure them all with recent research in specific areas, but then looking at all of it in an integrated way so you can get better results, feel better every single day. And I'll see you on the other side.